Hi. Yeah, um, hi everyone, Katie here. Um, Not very happy at the moment because I still haven't had my shielding letter, and it's now April the 5th. Um, they announced the shielding scheme about 2 weeks ago. For those of you who don't know, I have a very rare type of blood cancer called polycythemia vera. And I also have diabetes and hypertension, and apparently the combination of that is on the MPN Voices list of high risk people who sort of need to completely shield and not go out the house at all. So while I don't have this um, this shielding letter, while I don't have this shielding letter, I can't get food or medication delivered, and I live on my own, and I don't have any friends or relatives nearby um, to get them for me. Fortunately, I have found one really lovely person through our local coronavirus help and support group, and she has done a shop for me, and she said that she'll pick my medications up on either tomorrow or the day afterwards, because I only have medications now that'll last me until Tuesday, and if I don't have medications after that, then I'm going to get ill fairly rapidly, unfortunately. And uh, so yeah, I've been a bit, you know, I it's been very difficult. Um, but the main thing I wanted to say, sorry, main thing I wanted to say was, like, it's not just me who hasn't had our shielding letters yet. It's it's loads of people I know as well with the health conditions that make them susceptible to COVID, and with lowered immunity to COVID, and people who if they get COVID um, are going to die in a very horrible way, and none of us have had these letters. I thought originally it was probably just me and I was overlooked because my type of blood cancer is rare. But I mean, other people on the polycythemia vera forums in England, they've had their letters. Um, Not all of them, but a lot of them have. And people who don't have it, what I've got in with underlying health conditions either, they've had them because obviously, I mean, even if they don't know much about our disease, our type of blood cancer, that they most people are saying, well, let's just stay on the safe side because but nobody seems to. Welsh government is supposed to be sending out these letters, and they haven't sent them out. And I mean, and I cannot understand it. I cannot understand why there's been one article about it in one of the, I think it was Wales Online, but no journalist wants to talk about it. I've kind of I put a post on Facebook, and I tagged all the major newspapers in, and the Welsh ones, the sort of English ones, everything, all the UK newspapers, or most of them, and none of them, nobody's kind of covered the story at all. And that's why I think that unfortunately now where I live, Gwent has seen extremely high sort of rise in coronavirus cases, and it's affecting younger people as well. There was a really moving, actually very disturbing uh, Channel 4 news interview the other day with a consultant, an intensive care consultant and he said that his unit is full of people between, sort of like downwards from their 50s to you know, the youngest there was in his 20s. So I don't see, you know, I don't see why this message isn't getting through. There's loads of people, you know, and they're great. You know, these charities, they go around helping the elderly, and there's a lot of emphasis on helping the elderly. But what people don't understand is, don't seem to get, is that other people need to shield as well. You know, like people who have underlying health conditions can be any age, and you know, I mean, like they see a young, sort of outwardly fit person, and they just don't get that we're as much at risk. We could be as much at risk as somebody who is elderly. Um, I don't I don't understand it. I really, really don't understand it. And because people are not getting this, and because the Welsh government isn't sending out these shielding letters, and there's loads of people walking around, maybe a lot don't even know they should be shielding. And it's going to be far worse here. It's going to be like Italy, I think. Coronavirus in Wales is going to be like Italy, because we haven't reached the peak yet, but you know, and I mean, like Newport, Gwent, and you know, the surrounding area. We're near to the M4 corridor as well. So I mean, London's had it so bad, and it's gonna, you know, yeah, I just despair really. I really do, and I mean, I need to go and get my HRT, my Zoladex injection on next week, because if I don't, then my testosterone levels will rise up again, and my estrogen will stop working, and I'll also be in a right mess with that as well. So it's like other conditions people have as well. You know, they're not getting help um, because of the crisis. You know, because the NHS can't cope. Because nobody, you know, I mean, you look at Germany. I mean, Germany, they put a lot of money into their health service, and they actually sort of, you know, they actually hold their health service in high regard. But in this country, it's just been abused over decades and decades and decades, and underfunded, and nobody's, you know, and now look at the mess we're in, you know. So yeah, I mean, I don't know what's going to happen, like most people now, whether how long this crisis is going to go on, or whether it's just going to be the end of us all. But there's people without health conditions are dying as well. So you know, it's, I mean, the virus could come back, you know, be more virulent. We don't know yet, and but I mean, if people do get through this, and you know, and there's an end to it at some stage, then I think there's a lot of people who should be held accountable for their inactions, and for, you know, like a lot of people in authority. And there's not been a lot of talk about what people in authority have been up to. I mean, yeah, the government should have tested more, should have had testing in right from the start, like Germany. They should have done that, but they didn't do it. And they were even talking, like up until about almost a fortnight ago, about herd immunity. And I mean, that's ridiculous, actually. Um, and now the Prime Minister himself is actually in isolation now, because he's got it, because Nadine Dorries had it, and they've all got it. Loads of them have got it now. Dominic Cummings, somebody else who's, I can't remember his name, but he's got it. And Boris's girlfriend has got it, you know, Carrie Symonds. Um, People like abroad, they've been looking at in disbelief, and but like Wales has been, like the Welsh government, they've just been, I cannot understand the mentality, because in Wales you cannot even register as vulnerable. And like, you know, on the UK government website, there's a Welsh section. You go onto there, and you can't even register yourself as vulnerable. So you can't get any food or groceries or medications delivered to you, because all the delivery slots are booked up. It's just, oh, I don't know. I just despair. And I've been so worried the past 2 weeks. I have been, you know, on top of everything else, you know, and I've had to worry of the blood cancer and stuff as well, because PV can be treated, but I've been anemic and for ages, and I've been worried that it's progressing to myelofibrosis, which is terminal, and you know, there's nothing, you know, that's an aggressive cancer in a lot of cases, and like 5 to 7 years life expectancy, and that's the good prognosis. So yeah, so sorry about this. This video has gone on long enough, but I mean, yeah, be prepared to see Wales as a hotspot for coronavirus, and for, I don't know how many people are going to die, but if nobody's getting shielding letters, and you know, and it's just the ones who know they should be getting shielding letters who are aware of it. A lot of people don't know they should be shielding. This is the thing, you know, and it's, yeah, there's going to be a lot of people die here. A lot of people. I mean, we could be looking at a death toll as high as Italy, or even, you know, worse, all because the Welsh government aren't doing anything, basically, or they haven't got these letters out soon enough. I actually emailed the chief medical officer to explain to him what was going on, you know, and but I don't know whether I'll get a reply. You know, I understand he's very busy and it's a difficult time for him as well, but I mean, hopefully somebody in the department can give me some kind of answer. I mean, and I need to get in touch with my hematologist as well to find out why, you know, the letter that we got from the hematology department said that, gave a list of people who were at high risk, and based on MPM Voice's advice, and my condition wasn't on there. You know, my set of conditions wasn't on there, so I've got a nasty feeling I've been overlooked. Either that, but the shielding letters aren't coming out anyway. So I mean, people who are more obviously at high risk, and there's loads of people going around with conditions that they don't know whether they're high risk or not. You know, like polycythemia vera. One consultant saying one thing, one consultant saying the other. Some people are getting letters, some people aren't. You know, this is not a way to deal with a crisis. And every time some pompous man in a suit gets up on fucking sorry, pardon my French, but every time a man in a suit gets up on a bloody podium and starts saying, keep calm, carry on, thinking of themselves as the next Churchill, that's really beginning to piss me off, actually. It really is, you know, because there's loads of people. How can you shield effectively, not go out of the house for 12 weeks if you don't have any food or medications that you need? How's that gonna, how can you do that, you know? I mean, you know, I mean, is Jesus gonna come down and with 2 loaves and some fishes or something? Do you know what I mean? It's just ridiculous. So yeah, so I'm going to end this video here, because otherwise I'm going to blow my top. So well, you know, if anything happens to me, I hope this video will bear testament to why, and who is responsible for it. So yeah, so love you all, and cheerio, bye.